What's good, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I was just telling my friends there on TikTok about all the great things going on in the market today and actually why it's been such a bullish day. We're going to be taking a look at everything that's going on. We've got some charts to walk through as well as some huge announcements coming out of the US that absolutely, in my opinion, is set to pump your bags. We're also going to be taking a look at some DeFi plays. Like I just said, if you are part of my group on TikTok, you would have got an announcement over there of a project that's just come out, which is looking pretty crazy, although it is massively dumping right now. Anyway, we'll talk about all of that. We're going to get into some massive news coming out of the US. I mean, it's literally been a day of absolute craziness, in my opinion, today. So yeah, we're going to get into all of that and much more. And hopefully you guys can be pretty much bullish on where we're going to go. So I'm very much optimistic. I'm very much lined and dialed in. As always, if you can do me a quick favor, smash up the like button to a all-time high. Also hit that subscribe button if you're brand new to the channel. And if you're here on TikTok as well, you know what to do. Just simply tap that screen. We really appreciate it. It does help out letting everybody know that we are live. So with that being said, we're going to say hello to a couple of people and then we're going to get into it. We are a little bit early. We're about 5 minutes early. So, you know, I'm sure some people are going to come in and be like complete like stress heads. But also, if you didn't catch my live last night with Vern on TikTok, it was brilliant. We actually had one of the marketing guys from Polygon-matic. So we're now working on potentially getting the CEO of Polygon to come on the live show with me. And actually, he's going to come on the live show as well. So yeah, we got some cool ass stuff happening right now. It's all gravy on the 2Bit Crypto channel. So, you know, you don't want to miss out. Just my opinion for what it counts. I'm just watching this coin. Hopefully it's not going to dump to oblivion. That would be a disaster if it does. Anyway, what's going on, Craig? Good to see you, Crypto Princess in the house. 37's here. Foz here. Tomato Pete in the building. CJ, good to see you, man. Curtis, welcome. Hope you're all doing well. And who else is in the house? What have we got? Swamps here. And then, like we had, all the gang tuning in on TikTok as well. So welcome, Selmo. MK, what's going on? Newburn, welcome. Feyenoord, just got the number one gifted badge. You absolute legend. JJ, I said hello to you, I think, already, but welcome. You think we will pump? Yes. The question is when. XRP, XLM, XDCH, BITUNIX, crypto have been buying these. Great choice, Tyler, in my opinion. Great choice. A couple of other coins, again, that we got last night that we were kind of, you know, chatting through and batting through and getting sort of pretty crazy on where markets are going to go. So definitely think there is, definitely think there's got some pretty tasty upside to come as well. So we're going to break that down as well. Obi says, I'm just popping in, say hello and leave a like tonight. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Jack, welcome. Chris Moore's back. What's going on, Chris? Good to see you. And like I said, everybody getting in. Like I said, we are a little bit early tonight. But anyway, oh, God. It is the freaking worst when I forget to actually put the screen on, isn't it? It is the worst when I do that. Anyway, there we go. Right. We are here, which I think is important to reference. So what have we got going on right now? Well, look at this. We've got a pretty bullish move on the markets. However, this is telling us here, Q4 tends to be the most bullish stage for Bitcoin. Again, you can see this. You have to see this on like CoinMarketCap, whatever it is. But yeah, the reality is TikTok, I'll get you back in a minute. You can go and have a look at some charts. But look at this. We are literally approaching that. Here's the big orange line, 2025. As you see, generally markets start to cycle up as we get towards the back end of August into early September and then start to run into such months as October. And I guess in some degree, November as well. So history tells us, barring the exception of 2021, which, you know, was kind of crazy, but most other cycles, 2013, 2017, 2025, hopefully we'll sort of see that play out. Very much starting to align and could signal some strong moves over the course of maybe the next 4 to 6 weeks, all of which I'm sure would be super bullish if that were all to play out. So where are we at with Bitcoin right now? Very, very bizarre day. I actually thought we were going to see some nice moves in the market. We've sort of had super crazy news, and yet Bitcoin has kind of not really done much. Now, whether it will, whether it won't, I think people are still a little bit unsure on markets right now, but again, this uptrend is still with us. 112 on BTC. Again, look at this. We're still waiting here on the daily, but the 12-hour, you'll note that we are starting to slightly see a little bit of a small reversal. The 4-hour, unfortunately, it's even worse as well. So wherever we thought we were going to get that kind of move, you can see now on the 4-hour, we have flipped a little bit bearish. So this could bring the, you know, we could be absolutely coming back down again. People may say, well, it's a bull trap and whatever else. We could actually start to come down here in the 4 hours. So we're looking for potentially a little bit of a rally into the late end days of the later nights of where we are right now. This hopefully would trigger a little bit more on the price mechanic, or maybe not as well. So I think we have to be mindful of kind of where all that plays through. and sort of keep dialed into the market, because unfortunately, with all the good news, and I guess in some respects, you've had all this really positive news, but it's very specific, isn't it? CRO, Chainlink, you know, albeit, you know, people aren't really talking about the fact that there is over 10 other, 10 other cryptocurrencies that are part of that, or the blockchains that are part of that, which, once again, I think is important to reference. But many people are not in that place. And I think that's kind of where we get to. We want to see this market kind of move a little bit, groove a little bit, you know, kind of get a bit spicy, but hopefully that is how it's all going to play out. It may do, it may not do. We just have to be dialed in and ready to rock and roll. Sorry, I'm just trying to do something, but it's really not working, which is kind of frustrating me a little bit. Is it this one? Okay, yeah, it's this one. Cool. Sorry. Just trying to get a little bit more bullish. Right. Anyway, where the hell is Tim? I haven't seen Tim for a while, but the daily, we are definitely slightly bearish, albeit the daily is probably the one to keep an eye out, that we actually have some level of uptrend that might start to print a little bit better, which again would be good news as this starts to play out. So, you know, worth keeping a very much watchful eye on the markets. Altcoins haven't really done much. You can see the total 2 today down about 0.16. Nothing crazy, if I'm totally dead honest. It's, you know, it's kind of, it is what it is, really. 3.81 trillion, though, 0.25. Overall market actually looks pretty bullish. So, yeah. What's going on, Magic Craig? Stardog's in the house. What's going on, buddy? Sean's here, Curtis here. Fairground says, hey, 2-bit matey, guess who bought more CRO today? You freaking legend. Love it. You can bump it 2-bit. I'm going to try, Curtis. I'm going to try and see what we can do. So, yeah. In terms of what we got, let's do it. CRO coin, obviously having another very bullish move. Where do we put it? CRO coin here, look. Another 17%, looking pretty crazy on that move, albeit definitely did have a little bit of a sell-off, dropped about 8 cents. I don't think that's the worst thing in the world. You know, I mean, look, the reality is it is very much still strong, and given kind of the further moves, particularly in the markets, well, look, this is showing some real strength as this kind of plays out. And look, you've got definite positivity. Basically everything is super bullish right now on CRO. And, you know, look, the view might be that this is going way, way higher right now. This is it looks like a pissing meme coin right now. It's got this kind of crazy move on it. And then Chainlink being the other one at 24 bucks probably feels a little bit undervalued based on the news that's come out, based on potentially what mass adoption is going to come in for this one. So, yeah. Oh, my God, I did it wrong, Blazer. Sorry. I'm really sorry, everybody. Hold on a minute. Flip the 𝗦𝗲𝗿𝗶𝗀𝗀 video. There we go. Right. Bosh. Sorry about that. There you go. So, yeah, definitely looks like it's starting to play favorably to the upside. Rest of the market's pretty quiet. There's not really a lot to talk about. We want to keep an eye on that. Solana having a nice run at 210, continuing to break out to the upside as well, which I guess is pretty solid indeed. 37 says, show my missus the profit. She asked for something with diamonds, so I bought her a pack of playing cards. Let's get it. Oh, well, that was like a bit weird then when that came around. But yeah, that's kind of where we get to with the charts. Lots of optimism that sits there. And certainly still feeling very bullish on where we're going. And I think this is kind of important to reference. Pyth had a great day. Pyth did have a good day. Do we have Pyth on here or not? Do we have it? I feel like we got rid of it. We used to have it. Definitely. Pyth getting a very, very good news today. And yeah, look at that. 50 freaking %. Holy crap. I remember when we had Pyth in the investment fund. That was a good idea, wasn't it? I actually called this, if you remember, yesterday. I was like, oh, maybe Pyth gets a nice little run. Who knows? Or was it Pendle? Can't remember. Anyway, that is a big old meme coin candle there on Pyth. Pretty crazy. But real time, you know, data translation, pretty epic as that one plays out. So very, very bullish indeed. Okay, that's where the altcoin markets sit. We'll stick with Bitcoin. You know, look, I'm still a bit messed up with the days because I've been off this week because it's last week of half term. But Tim in the building, what's going on, buddy? Vern's here as well. Lisa cooking court tomorrow. Wonder what will be the outcome. Yeah, we're going to talk about that as well. We're definitely going to get into that. Boutique Jewelry, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Hey, 2-bit and friends. Hope you guys aren't as bored as I am waiting for the supposed banana zone. Well, it depends what project you're in, bruh. But anyway, good news. Right, look at this. We talked about this, actually. We don't need to look at this. That's the charts. We're not going to get too deep into it. We're going to get into this crazy news, everybody. Holy crap. We have had some pretty outstanding news, FYI. Muppets from around the world assemble, which is good news. Look at this. US Department of Commerce makes history by publishing the Q2 2025 GDP data hash across 9 blockchains. So many people aren't talking about this, including Bitcoin and Ethereum making first federal use in decentralized networks for official economic data verification. Pretty good news. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Tron, Stellar Lumens, Avalanche, let's get it. Arbitrum 1, Polygon, and Optimism. So, yeah, pretty bullish news there. Do you think there will be a mega drop? I mean, I'm not in that place, really. I know some people are, but I'm not there. Like, what's a mega drop? Like 50%? I don't know if I get into that kind of crazy one, to be honest, but I mean, maybe. Robert Dover's in the house. But so many people are like, oh, this is great news. Man, this coin's going crazy right now. Let's get it. People are like, oh, this is like crazy news. Like, we're super, super, super crazy bullish on this. Yeah, we need to see it. I think that's where we start allowing ourselves to kind of get rocking and rolling. Pyth, yeah, Pyth's something a little bit different, isn't it? I thought Pyth was slightly different, unless I'm getting that mistaken, which is definitely a possibility, by the way. Definitely a possibility. So this is good news, by the way, and I think we'll see this. Now, I don't know if there's a way. The data is available as a PDF. The department downloaded the file applied to the SHA-256 hash. The resulting hash of the file is this. Can we actually get that code anywhere? Anyone got that code? Anyone got that code? I don't really want to type it out because it looks like it'd be a right pain in the ass. But anyway, Troll outperforms everything this year. I mean, let's hope so. Bids Plays coming in fresh. What's going on, buddy? Welcome. Like BTC, 100 ETH, 3,500. Ooh, I mean, that's pretty crazy. That would be a pretty old drop. Davo, with your Chad sticker on. Did you check out the latest post in the subscriber group? Hopefully you did. It's at 1.07 million, FYI. And I think, what was it when I called it in that group? 600K maybe? Federate, when's the news? Yeah, we've got about another 20 days. Yeah, about another 20 days. So yeah, it's in the US data news with others today. Nice. Thought Pyth is just a small version of Lincoln Sol. Well, it's a little bit more accurate in terms of specific fast data that goes to it. We talked about it before on the channel. Actually, it's pretty good in fairness. Puffer Profits in the building. What's going on? As well as Mr. End User. What's going on, pal? What's going on? Predictions for PCE data tomorrow. Ollie, I don't really care. I know that's proper dismissive of it. I just don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. I think the numbers I'd seen were relatively flat, to be honest. Don't forget, we saw announcements on GDP was one of the biggest growths since 2023. I mean, Jesus Christ. By the way, BITUNIX today did add Aerodrome Finance as well. I'm just saying, that's pretty bullish, isn't it? So anyway, this is good news. We'll keep an eye on this. I think we're going to see way more upside. And then look, this was also double down. CFTC. The advisory creates legal pathways for offshore crypto exchanges to serve US traders, ending regulation by enforcement. Holy crap! And people think it's done. People think the market's going to freaking zero. I mean, come on, baby. Aptos, what's going on, buddy? It's been a minute. Welcome, Ardon Selmo. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yeah, look at this. Washington, the Communities Futures Trading Commission Division of Market Oversight today issued an advisory regarding the Foreign Board of Trade, the registration for non-US entities legally organized and operating outside of the United States. Basically allows anyone to come and trade the crypto markets without getting absolutely obliterated. And I think this is important to reference. This is looking very, very bullish, and in my opinion, very good news. And I think this will play out now over the course of probably maybe in the next 4 weeks, where we'll start to just see a little bit more capital flow into the market. People will start to get a little bit more optimistic. You might see even further mass buying of particular crypto assets. We've got a couple to talk about in tonight's live stream, but yeah, pretty big if you ask me. So you don't really know what you're doing. Who are you talking to? Don't even know what I'm doing. I have no idea, by the way. I have no idea. I'm just a guy that talks about crypto on the internet. What subscriber group? Well, Curtis, that is interesting. You should ask that. Basically, we have a subscriber group on TikTok. It's $3 a month. And yeah, you get kind of the occasional little alpha call in there. Again, never financial advice. Do your own research. As always, they are just little prompts and little snippets that you might want to be interested in. Again, if that's what it is. VeChain price prediction, please. I mean, many people have talked about VeChain. I mean, people think it might go to $1, but I don't know. I don't know. It's a pretty big old move. Is it all memes? No, not at all. If you were in the TikTok live stream last night, by the way, we got some crazy alpha, like crazy alpha. Like, honestly, big news. Like, to the point where, you know, yeah, I mean, big news, basically. It's good news. Mama says, hi, guys, it's your turn. You're on upside down. Charts look better. I mean, that's true. The charts don't look terrible today, but they look all right, really. Look all right. But yeah, anyway, good news. Well, good news. Victoria, what's going on? Good to see you. Welcome in. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. So yeah, anyway, CFTC going big, as are many others in the market, and we are very much optimistic of where this is going to go. Now, the big debate. How high are we going? AOBTC analyst here giving us a view saying Bitcoin is ready for a huge bull run. Now, you've got a real divide, I think, right now. A real divide, in fact, because a lot of people think that we are due for a correction. A lot of people are like, no, the market's got to go way lower yet before we can go higher. People are just a bit like, well, you know, we're overdue a correction. We're overdue this kind of sell-off event. The argument is, well, we didn't really see it prior. I just don't know if I'm in that place, you know. I don't know if I'm in that place. Equally, that doesn't mean that we can't get a 10%, 20% correction. I don't think we're in a world of seeing 30s and 40s, but, you know, we definitely could see a little bit more of a downside momentum. Ask yourself this question, though. What is it now that brings the Bitcoin price down to 30K? Remember, we had $2.5 billion sold in one go. You had, you know, OG whales selling more Bitcoin that people then just bought up. Like you had BlackRock selling a little bit. The reality is the markets, in my opinion, don't care. And there's some very bullish news, particularly when you talk about Ethereum, particularly when you talk about treasury companies that, in my opinion, are showing signs that, if anything, the market's actually, the market's actually accelerating its buying pressure, which therefore could lead us to significantly crazier gains than we ever could imagine. I think that's where you can allow yourself just a little bit more optimism in the markets. I know some people are a little bit of a freaking out a little bit, but I don't necessarily think that they need to. You take a look at this, for example, BlackRock yet again buying another 500 Bitcoin, as did Fidelity, ARK21 back buying again. Grayscale, we're probably going to see another inflow day, as we saw yesterday, 80 million, 219. This will be the fourth day in a row that we actually see more buying pressure coming into the market, which again is good news if you ask me. Mike, I know I've been out of the loop for a while and I didn't even notice recently, but I'm liking the new intro. Hey, Craig, thanks so much. Crazy. Crackerjack to the building. Seems like BTC is on its way to retest last week's low. Yeah, potentially. I mean, it's in a slight uptrend right now. We are definitely slightly bearish though here on the daily the daily chart. So it's worth noting. But look, we did get some strong support here off the 100-day exponential moving average, giving us a slightly bigger push up. But you know, look, if you Fibonacci this as well, it's starting to get to very interesting. We talked about this yesterday. 112,200 is, you know, around the 0.5 Fibonacci. So again, that could start to play out a little bit more favorable as to where we are gonna go. So definitely worthwhile keeping an eye on it. Also, here we are, Trader Trade, giving us a view saying here, look, according to the breakout of an indicator, Bitcoin has transitioned from a slow bull into a fast bull. And we sort of talked about this. And you can see it in terms of net volume, and you can see it in terms of just hold accounts, by the way. CRO predictions, Don, we'll talk about in just a second. You could argue we are, like I said, accelerating where we go with crazy amounts of money flowing into the market. You only have to look at kind of a couple of recent meme coin launches where you kind of get a vibe for what it looks like. Equally, understand what's been built and what people are investing in right now. Look at RWA narratives. Look at what CRO's doing. I mean, Jesus, over the last couple of days, you got the US freaking government now using the blockchain, which is, again, pretty wild. And we'll talk about JP Morgan and why this is important in a minute, because even JP Morgan right now, some hours flipped macro bullish on Bitcoin. Who would have thought that? Not me. So two charts there that are giving you a bit of a view as to kind of where the market's going to go. More importantly, how we could see a significant push. Right. Really quickly, because I know some of you guys are super interested on CROcoin. Where do we think it can go? I think it's worthwhile zooming out into the weekly candles. You could argue, well, look, all-time high at 95 cents. Do you think you could break that? I would argue we are very bullish on the weekly candles. And if we said, well, where are we actually going to get to from the top to the bottom on the weekly candles here? Well, let's fib it and see where we get to. This could be a very optimistic move. Take the lower range. Look at this. Retested perfectly. The 382 Fibonacci. Look, if we were then to start to push up next price target, 49 cents at the 0.5, that could start getting us a nice little move to the upside. Again, look at some of this support that's coming in. 382 is going to be hard work to break, though, on CRO, FYI. 0.5 next, around 49 cents. And then, look, you're looking at a retest. If you said and allowed yourself the 1618, 2618, bullish, could CRO see 250 this cycle? Well, maybe. Maybe the weekly candles just say that that could be the case. So, worthwhile thinking about it. But, look, what are CRO good at? They're very good at marketing. They're very good at making sure people are dialed in. So, you know, keep your eyes peeled. This could absolutely be a rocket of a move over the course of the next couple of weeks. Right. Good. There we are. That's pretty much the charts. I'm not going to go too much into them because, you know, we are where we are. I think it's worthwhile talking about and breaking a little bit more kind of macro stuff that's happening because everyone's kind of got hung up on the whole, like, CROcoin, Chainlink, US government, all this kind of stuff. Everyone's going, oh, I'm super like crazy bullish and it's super exciting and we're all going to the freaking moon and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And hopefully, you know, fingers crossed we absolutely are. The reality is there is a number of other things that are coming to the market, which I think is good. How do you feel about XRP? Yeah, pretty bullish on XRP. Coach JV says, make sure you're holding your crypto in a safe wallet or you'll lose your money. I mean, never a true word, Coach. What's going on, buddy? Welcome. Welcome to you. Hey, 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝘁𝗲𝗱. Thank you so much for the follow. Appreciate it. And AC Free, man, where have you been for the last God knows how long? What's going on, buddy? What are you going to laugh? Forbes came out with an article stating that XRP will only be worth $5 by 2030. Almost spit my drink all over reading that. I also saw that, you know, don't forget, there's a number of big companies buying XRP, which is crazy. CRO $2 all-time high. Nice. Nice. So look at this. Bullish. DeFi Development Corp just bought 407,247 freaking Solana. All right, $85 million. They have gone big. By the way, you can now stake your Solana with 𝗥𝗲𝗹𝘁𝗲𝗀, by the way, $100 million over there, which is pretty crazy. 𝗥𝗲's been definitely a big kind of player, certainly one that I've been keeping my eye on, and one I've been talking about what I feel like forever. 𝗥𝗲𝗹, definitely that lend protocol. I think you can get 13% on like Euro USDC now, but again, it's beginning to happen. Man, treasury companies, big tech, everyone seems to be freaking coming into the market because they all want a piece of the pie. And it feels like Solana is the one that everyone seems to be buying into right now, which in my opinion is pretty good news. You're actually going to see this way more. You're going to see, I mean, the next one, probably XRP, probably something like that. Definitely worthwhile thinking about. Selmo's bullish on CRO. What's going on? BTC target from now till the end of the year. Bull case. I mean, if you went super bullish, 165, we could go way high though. Again, we'll have to see. 2026 market. Do I dare say that we might get there? Not yet. Not freaking yet. Anyway, Solana looks pretty crazy. Watch out for this. Now, Tidal Trust. We talked about this the other, well, a couple of weeks back actually, but Tidal Trust has filed a defiance leveraged long XRP ETF with the US Securities and Exchange Commission. This is yet again another bullish move for XRP. We talked about this before, and we talked about why this is going to be so important. Well, look, the reality is that this is now playing out, in my opinion, very, very favorably, and we could now start to see this really move towards mass adoption when it comes to XRP. Many people don't believe that's going to be the case, but the more and more we see this like legislative filings and people wanting to get access to something like XRP, I mean, would you allow yourself to put a CRO one on there right now? A CRO coin ETF? Probably. Probably. I thought they like quadrupled the supply. What's that for? Anyone have any syrup? Damien, no, I don't. CRO sure blasted off. Yeah, it did, really did. It really did. But yeah, I mean, would you allow yourself to say maybe there's a CRO ETF coming? I mean, it's possible, isn't it? That would be pretty crazy if it came in. But this, yet again, in my opinion, is very, very bullish. And once again, XRP seems to be at the forefront of it. So we're dialed in. Now, a little bit of a lesser known bit of news here that many people, I'm sure, are not fully aware of, but I do think is probably important to think about, is this. And this is Binance is now shifting to a much more stabilized view and, more importantly, specific to specific to institutional clients and faster execution. I.e., if I want to come in with a big bag and I want to buy big, I want to do it through a reputable exchange. This could spark two things. One, it's going to, in my opinion, allow way more purchasing coming of crypto, which I guess is good news. Certainly from a, probably from an institutional side of things, you're going to see way, way bigger, way bigger purchasing as well, which I think could be good news and certainly therefore could play out. Now, the important thing to reference here, by the way, just in my opinion, is that we are hopefully going to see way, way bigger buys and way, way bigger optimism in the market as this kind of all, sort of filters through really, and we sort of get to a good place of where everything kind of filters and walks through. But look, Binance is strengthening its focus on institutional and high net worth clients. I mean, these are the people with big bags that want to get involved. And I think this is definitely, in my opinion, worthwhile looking at, because I think where we get to with Binance doing it, it's going to unlock a ton more capital. So Binance reported a strong uptick in institutional client base. In the first half of 2025, the number of VIP users grew 21%, while institutional client rose over 20% as well. So Binance aren't messing about here. Binance are definitely not messing about. They're like, yeah, we are literally going big or going home. So, we are dialed in, and good luck to them. That's my opinion. I'm down for it. I'm absolutely freaking down for it. And if Binance want to come in big, then I am also very much aligned to that, because I think that could play out very, very favorably. So yeah, very, very favorably. So, yeah, fingers crossed, eh? Fingers crossed. It's going to be good. Coach TV23, thanks for the follow. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. So, keep an eye on it. Right. Trump's attempt to remove Fed Governor Sparks' legal battle. Oh, Lisa, come on. It's going to be fine. Going to be fine, Lisa. Just relax. I mean, whether she's going to relax or not, that's the bigger debate. However, she has now filed a lawsuit against Mr. Trump and other things. I think, do they file it against Trump or is it against the administration? I don't really know how it works in the US. So yeah, so I'm not like super clued up on it, but hey, I think it's going to be fine either way. They'll see. But yeah, perpetrated on mortgage paperwork discrepancies. I don't think it's a big deal, by the way. It's not like, oh, if she doesn't then gets like re-put into it, all of a sudden the market's going to freaking go to, you know, zero because Lisa Cook's gone back in. But it is interesting the fact that, you know, Trump just was like, yep, get out. Now, the fact that he did yeet her out has opened up the doorway, by the way, to significantly bigger opportunities when it comes to rate cuts, which I think is good news. Because, yeah, I bought a little bit a while back, so I only have around 30,000 coins, but it still cost me about 22 G. So what's that for? Craig, I ain't got much. I bought it at the dip. Oh, fair enough. Bought at the dip. Yeah, where are we at now? 87.2% on potential rate cuts, so which I think is good. Which I think is good, by the way. So, yeah, all good news. Too bad. I'm assuming it doesn't. It does, but my question is, when I bought 𝗥𝗲𝗃, I had to buy Sol first, then swapped Sol for 𝗥𝗃. Is that now 2 taxable events? Yes. Basically. But if you swapped buy Sol, yeah, but so the taxable, don't forget you can write off exchange transaction fees, but it would only be a taxable event based on if you gained on that. So if you bought Sol and then it went up by 3 cents, I mean, I don't think you need to worry about that. If I'm dead honest, it technically is 2 taxable events, but I don't think you need to particularly worry about it personally. That's my view. Right, the Pyth view. Pyth going parabolic as Trump admin taps blockchain Oracle for data verification. This is obviously good news. Pyth token skyrocketing on the government announcement that they will be using it under the Department of Commerce, and it's confirmed that the Pyth and Chainlink to help verify and distribute official economic data on chain. I mean, it's pretty crazy if you think about it. Like, if you've been in this market for a while, like it's pretty wild that like the Trump administration is going to go big on Chainlink and piss in Pyth. Anyway, the Blockchain Data Initiative complements a series of pro-crypto legislations. Here's the thing why this is important, by the way, and why I wanted to bring it up tonight, because what you almost get here is an acceptance and a green light for everyone to start using stuff on chain. And you may say, well, what difference does it mean? If you've actually got the administration of the country in which you live in, they're not going to flip bearish on, you know, cryptocurrency either. Let's just call a spade a spade. They're just not. It's going to be very much dialed in, very good news, and certainly we're going to see this kind of play out. And you're already starting to see just little snippets of why this is going to be important, by the way. AVAX predictions for the end of 2025, $600. Now, I don't know. We'll take a look at AVAX. I'm super bullish on AVAX, though. I feel like that's the next, like, mover. We had Solano. I think AVAX could get an ETF as well, which I think would be good. But they're in the grayscale large cap one. Live Momo in the house. Going on my crypto space. We'll take a look at that in just a second. But yeah, what you get to therefore is, okay, how does this then support it? We got the Genius Act, the stablecoin bill, all of that stuff. But already we're seeing certain companies, certain entities already start to get, you know, crazy bullish on what's going on in the markets. For example, and this is not a news article I thought I would ever talk about. JP Morgan says Bitcoin is undervalued and it sets 126K fair value versus gold. Like, what? JP Morgan saying Bitcoin's undervalued? Are you winding me up right now? Is this a real world day? I don't know if it is. By the way, we got like nearly 100 people here on YouTube. Do me a quick favor. Find that thumb. Just give it a little click. It does massively help out. Lets more people know this is the channel that has got all of the alpha that they're ever going to need, which I think is good news. A few years ago, the government told us crypto's a scam. And it's crazy, isn't it? It's literally the like craziest thing in the world. On a volatility adjusted basis, JP Morgan calculates the fair value for Bitcoin at around 126,000. The sharp decline in Bitcoin's volatility is fundamentally reshaping its investment case. This is why you are getting more and more people coming in, because they see it as a potential and they see it with a declining risk factor. Not saying that it's not risky, because it is, but definitely seeing it as a declining risk factor, which I think is important. Sean 224 AVAX. Yeah, AVAX crazy bullish on it. I think it's the coin that's got the most to give. $24. Definitely could see a whopping great run on this. Not financial advice, as it never is here on the channel, but you know, look at this. If you said, well, let's potentially get a little bit of a bull case, 2618 is 376, 3618517. Could we see a $500 AVAX? I mean, that would be pretty crazy, wouldn't it? I'd like to think so. I'd like to think so. But look, AVAX is on a nice little uptrend. You can't deny that's an uptrend for AVAX. So good news. Anyway, JP Morgan, good news. All right, now it gets a bit crazy. Look at this. Cathie Wood's ARK Invest is now bought 15.6 million BMNR, which is basically Tom Lee's Ethereum treasury. Like, holy shit. If you are not bullish on Bitmine and what Tom Lee's doing, then you, unfortunately, I think you're going to miss out. And again, I'm not saying that this is the best strategy in the world. I'm not saying that everyone should do what I'm doing. All I'm telling you is that I think people will miss out. And so much so, by the way, look at this. Bitmine bought 78,000 Ethereum today. $350 million. And they're now going to raise another $2 billion to buy more Ethereum. Like, to me, it's going to get wild. It's going to get wild. That's why I bought into CRO today, because Trump is involved. I mean, look, it's probably not a bad shout. You might have to ride a bit of volatility out, but yeah, I think I think CRO's got some opportunities. Chainlink we've talked about now for probably the last, 14 months, maybe a bit longer. I say I bought one Sol at 150 and got 200k Zebek, and now it's worth 1.5k. The OG Sol purchase has no profit. The swap is up. Yeah, then it's basically the tax on the 150 to 150 to 1500. Minus what your allowance is, basically. Usually better to buy before an announcement. I mean, Curtis, that's absolutely true as well. That is true. But this is good news, by the way, and I think we're going to see way more craziness come in from Bitmine. Just look at this. Look at how much they're buying. Look how aggressive they're buying. And actually, what's important to reference here, by the way, is that they're actually returning a gain as well, which is kind of crazy as well. So, and they're going to raise even more money. Like, they're going to raise money. And this is the thing that I think a lot of people miss out on. This will happen on Solana. This will happen on AVAX. I think this will happen on XRP. You may even start to allow yourself things like XLM, XDC. They may all go into some sort of altcoin big cap, SUI ETFs. Like, it's all going to get freaking crazy, if you ask me. And I think you're going to start to see this. And I just think it's going to be this. I think this is the narrative of 2025, 2026, just for those people that think we're going to go for another year. Because I think this all treasury companies, by the way, some of them are going to get absolutely fucking wrecked, by the way. Some of them are going to get wrecked, and they are going to wreck a ton of people. So you do have to be mindful of this, because nothing goes up forever. And equally, with some of this huge amounts of money in, some will definitely get wrecked. Have you seen Altcoin Index looking good? Yeah, what are we at right now? Let's have a look. Altcoin Index is sitting at 59. We're getting there. We're slowly grinding higher. We are definitely getting there. ETFs in October 2-bit. Yeah, for XRP. I actually thought we'd see them a little bit sooner. But yeah, usually we'll see. I've heard rumors about HBAR ETF. Yeah, that's actually been filed for, I think. Calamari. I think it has. Hey, Go Popular. Thank you so much. What was that from? Dave? Oh, you massive legend. Appreciate you, buddy. Right, hold on a minute. I think that's Altcoin Daily's video, actually. Just said historic crypto news. I'm sure it's all the stuff we just talked about here on the channel. So, yeah, Altcoin Index, strategic Ethereum reserves, and basically a market, in my opinion, poised for a nice little breakout. Now, again, I'm not saying that we're not going to go down. I'm not saying we're going to go and not retest some of these current levels, but you'd argue right now that we are definitely playing out for a more favorable move in this market. And yeah, could be good news. Could be good news. BTC dominance looking good. Yeah, BTC dominance is coming down, albeit it is up a little bit today, but that's because we've actually seen a significant amount of buying pressure on those ETFs. Remember, BlackRock buying, Cathie Wood buying, etc. But yeah, 0.16, it's nothing. Mark, thank you for that. Tune into the fan club, you legend. Appreciate it. Yeah, 58.71 is the upper range that we don't want to see break above. Right now, they're holding around 58.39. Official altcoin season. I mean, if anyone is debating this, by the way, it started Friday. That's why I'm wearing a Dogecoin t-shirt. But yeah. Congrats, Selmo. Lit up donut. What the hell does that mean? But thanks, Selmo, you massive legend. Appreciate it. And yeah, dare I doobs. Thanks for that. Price target for 2025. I mean, yeah, I mean, look, you can never be truly accurate, but I mean, the general consensus is anything between 150 and 200k. If it goes to 2026, general consensus, I believe, is over 200k, which again, could be pretty wild. Understand how big a 180 Bitcoin is, though. Like 180k Bitcoin's going to be a big deal, isn't it? That is going to be a big deal, in my opinion. Hope so. Which coins do you think you might get wrecked? No. I mean, like some of the ETF, some of those ETF companies are going to get wrecked. Like definitely, like ETFs, treasuries. Like at some point, there'll be a treasury company that'll come in and buy Ethereum at like $14,000, and they'll raise like $1 billion, and they'll buy ETH at 14,000, and it's gonna come down in price, like it is. Like bear markets are gonna come, markets will do what markets will do, and you know, companies like that, can they ride the volatility out? That is obviously going to be the bigger debate, and if they can't, you know, it's going to be pretty painful. However, the positive news with something like Ethereum is, if you have the staking capabilities, you can basically grind your way out of that. You know, we've seen that already with certain particular coins where staking is such an important part of how they continue to drive revenue into their chain. So yeah, keep an eye out for it. Could be good news in my opinion. Sorry, you cut off on my end. What did you say? BTC price target, bull case 2025. So I would argue that bull case 2025 for me is probably top end of 170, I think. You know, 175, 176, 177. That's where I'd go. That's like bull case, everyone going crazy, euphoria returns to the market. You see sort of, you know, craziness in terms of people buying in. Your mates are all telling you that crypto's going to the moon, etc. So yeah, I think we're at least going to see 150. That'd be my view. But I do think we could go way higher. I said if Lauren turns up in the next 5 minutes, she smells. Curtis absolutely bringing the alpha right now. Are we on ETH dominance season? When would Altseason start? I officially called Altseason on Friday, like just gone. And I'll tell you why I called that, by the way. Bitcoin dominance hit the level that I was looking for. You had ETH versus BTC starting to play favorably out. And I'm just going to show you it, by the way. It's here, look. This is the ETH versus BTC chart. What you've got here now is a nice trend continuing to move to the upside. What you're looking for is obviously these continuation bouncing, not breaking down. A breakdown here would signal that Bitcoin is starting to get back in control. Therefore, you would argue that the alt season is over. This is going to be something we need to keep an eye out for. But the reality is, in my opinion, it's still going way higher. And then this is BTC dominance, just for anyone who is brand new. This, basically, the yellow box we've had on this chart now for probably 6 months, I want to say. And it served us pretty well, if you ask me. So, you know, look, very much optimistic as where this is going to go. And while it's under this level, that's good news. And then we have ETH dominance and ETH BTC all playing out very much favorably as to where they're going to go. So that's why I would be an arguer saying, I think alt season is here. We're well into it. We're getting stuck in. Yeah, today's been maybe a bit more dominant on Bitcoin, but you know, no one really cares. No one really cares. Web3, what's going on? How long do you expect it to last? I mean, look, I still, and you know, I guess debatably so, sitting that I think it's going to end up in 2025. Many people think we're going to 2026. Look, I would be happy to change my prediction, but some bigger things have to happen. Now, today's been a pretty freaking big day in the markets, like pretty big day. But September, by the way, Chris Moore, generally a little bit pants. October, rocket fuel. You know, if you allow yourself to go maybe a couple of weeks into November, you might sort of see it as big there as well. But yeah, my opinion is I still think we've got some pretty bullish news to come. So yeah, worthwhile keeping your eyes locked in my view. Right. Good. By the way, we are here 6 days a week, bringing you the latest and greatest in cryptocurrency. So if you haven't already, you know, hit that follow button, I highly recommend doing it. It is definitely worth it. And yeah, hopefully you guys can get involved. September is the time to load your bags. I mean, maybe you could DCA quite well through September, I think. I definitely think you could DCA in September if you really, really wanted to. So keep your eyes peeled on it. Keep your eyes peeled on it. Any big macro events tomorrow? So you got PCE index tomorrow. Not that it's the craziest thing in the world, but that's about it. Could you give me an example exit strategy on something like AVAX? Yeah. Set specific points that you want to sell at and stick to those points. So, for example, if you think, let's say, for example, AVAX is going to go to $500 as an example, then you will say, well, I'm going to take 25% off the table at like 350. I'll take another 25% off at 375. I'm going to take another 25% off my remaining bag at around 400. And I'm going to leave 25% to see where it gets to. Laddering in, laddering out is literally the biggest superpower aligned to DCAing than you could ever imagine. It's just the way to do it. Don't always full clip in, full clip out. That's not the way you do it. So, yeah. Well, interesting enough, by the way, Chris Moore, I'm going to have a couple of things coming out in the Discord. I don't know if some of you guys have been keeping up to speed with it, but I've been updating some stuff, updating some channels, all the links and stuff. And I've got some kind of, thanks, Vern. I've got some spreadsheets out that are going to come out pretty soon, probably in the next week or two, that basically allow you to plot where you could do some sells, you could take profits, all that kind of stuff, right? It's going to sort of plot it all out for you. So you basically got to put it in, and it will build a percentage-based profit and loss target that you can kind of work through based upon metrics that you want to get to. So it's pretty cool. Again, I'm just kind of working through it. It's a little bit chat GPT at the minute, but it's going to be kind of cool. So you basically say, well, I've got $10,000 in AVAX, and I want to make this, and it's going to sort of give you a little bit of a price target, etc., etc. So if you're not already in my free Discord, definitely worthwhile getting in there. We're going to start to build that stuff out and really start to wind that Discord up as well. So, and you know, look, hopefully longer term, it may become worth it to do other things, but I would definitely recommend getting in there as well. And yeah, so that could be worth it. Right. So in terms of just some economic stuff going on Thursday, we don't have a lot. We got a little bit on, what day is it today? It's Thursday today, isn't it? Yeah, Thursday today. What the hell am I talking about? So Friday, what have we got? Fed balance sheet could be pretty interesting. See what that happens. See what the Fed once again dumps some more of their assets, as well as bond yields, but nothing too crazy, by the way. I don't think this is necessarily going to be big news. Thanks, Fern. I 5,000. What's that? I 5,000 total AVAX currently, and it's worth. Is it? Depends what you, Chris Moore. Depends what you bought it at. It depends what you bought it at. That's my view. If you're going to DCA up, my opinion would be no. But yeah. Weren't there some Aave news too? But yeah, Aave partnered with, I can't remember if it's a stablecoin provider. We talked about this before, but yeah, Aave did partner up with someone. I can't remember. But yeah, some pretty good news. By the way, we're nearly at 30,000 likes on this live stream. That's crazy. AVAX is going to shock people, brother. Yeah, I agree. I think AVAX is going to do some big numbers. Just my opinion. Is that like 38 likes and 84 in the chat? Yeah, come on, smash the like button. Yeah, go on, Craig. Get him, Craig. Rolling Dice, what's going on, Bar? Welcome. Good. Okay. So yeah, but anyway, make sure you're in the Discord. It's totally free. It's definitely worth it. All right, just my opinion. The other thing to think about as well, by the way, is some very interesting coins coming out. Like I said, we got some absolute alpha. We met, Vern and I, connected with basically the chief marketing officer, chief marketing strategist from Polygon. I mean, it's insane. Like, so, you know, I've already chatted with him last night. We're going to try and get the CEO of Polygon on this freaking channel, baby. It's going to be wild. But yeah, we got some absolute alpha that we're going to be dropping in the Discord and everything else. So definitely stay tuned on that. We're going to have some good stuff for you guys. It's going to be epic. So worthwhile. Also, you know, continuing the onslaught of making sure that everybody knows what's going on. I actually put this in my TikTok. So for the subscribers, it's $3 a month. Again, it literally costs you next to nothing. And I called this was 700K. It's now at 1.01 million, topped out so far at 1.5 million. So if you did enjoy this one, then good. Grats. Absolutely worth it. And if you're interested, by the way, just support the channel a little bit. It's $3 a month. All right. It's literally nothing. So yeah, shout out to anyone that did decide to do that. Okay. Right. That's the news. Calendar is a little bit more optimistic next week. We've got a few other little things coming in, nothing too crazy, but yeah, could start to get bullish as we get into September. DG's in the building. What's going on, pal? That could start to play out a bit more favorably. And yeah, hopefully we can hold Bitcoin on a green candle, a bit like ANZR would say in the kitchen. Then yeah, fingers crossed we get there. N for Gains in the building. What's going on? Like and share the stream. Standard. My crypto space knows what's up. What's going on? Hey, 2-bit. Jasmine's dead. No, there's been some pretty crazy news for Jasmine, by the way. Anything worth adding to now? Better to hold. I think, I mean, look, it depends how you look at it. Everyone thinks the market's going to go down, which sometimes means the market's not going down. But I will only ever tell you what I'm doing. I think it's, you know, I haven't got a crystal ball. I can only give you what I'm doing. So far, I have some capital on the side. And I'm waiting to see if the market gives me an opportunity to get into it. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. Either way, though, I think the market is undervalued. Take Solana, for example, right? I added some more Solana to my staking pool today. So again, because I just think it's worth it, 7.5%. So I'm like, cool. I added some Airdrome Finance to my staking pool as well. So, you know, those I think are in, you know, you're not going to lose out, I don't think, too badly. Particularly if you can stake a decent amount, it's worth it. Ethereum's another one, by the way. I don't really stake it. I stake AVAX, stake Solana, stake Aerodrome, which I think is worth it as well. So yeah, good news. Right, I'm trying to think of something. I was going to show you guys something. My mind's gone totally blank. What am I looking for on social media? Jasmine, that's it. I saw something the other day about it. Hara, I think, is out at some more blockchain conferences and all the rest of it. The director, Jasmine, Kenoto, Ado, Jasmine Coins, 499 all-time high, isn't just history, it's our future target. Jasmine Coin X Earn, which could be pretty interesting. The first official partner. And then you've also got Jasmine and VeChain, I think, are doing some stuff together. So yeah, there's some crazy shit going on with Jasmine right now. Like, just the fact of the matter is, it's just not big, bearish, and in people's faces. It's just kind of chilling. I mean, where is it at? It's only down 0.2. It's at 1497. So it's holding up pretty well, in fairness. It is actually holding up pretty well. So, you know, keep an eye on Jasmine. In my view, by the way, this is that line that we've had on this chart for a while. We're well above that, you know. And, yeah, hopefully we get a nice little bounce and we get some nice little movement. But I definitely saw Harrow was talking about a couple of other bits as well. So, yeah, I think we're going to be fine. Cool Cat's in the building. Good news. No one is given a reason for crypto market to go down in September. I am mad bullish because of the rate cuts. Yeah, the rate cuts will definitely be, definitely be good news. Definitely. I love the fact that someone's using a fake HS account and then they come into the live stream and tell me to shush. Oh my God. I love it. I love it when people do that, by the way. That is like, it's like you have to get a fake account and you come in and you're like, shh, you know what you're talking about. You're on a fake account, you massive chopper. What the hell are you talking about? Anyway, how do you think Pengu? Oh man, a lot of people talk about Pengu, by the way. The fact of the matter is with Pengu is that it has massive IPO right or massive IP rights. It definitely might, yeah, it's definitely poised for something bigger, in my view, by the way. And I think Pengu could do some big numbers. Could it be the meme coin of 2025, 2026? I don't know. I don't know. That's the honest answer. I still think Pepe is going to do it personally, but I'm not going to deny the fact that, you know, as a meme coin that came out relatively recently, albeit though, and it is important to reference this, by the way, had an enormous community already behind it. You'd argue that's a pretty bullish chart. So if you were allowing yourself, like if that was on Bitcoin or something, right? You would be in this world of going, well, that is starting to play out as a very, very important head and a cup and saucer pattern. I don't know pattern, get it right too, but it's a meme coin, so you have to be careful of it. That's just my opinion. I just made hold on a minute, what's that say? I just made a video about the best crypto show that's ever, every Wednesday. Let's go, Blazer. Why Pepe again? I mean, why do I think Pepe is going to be big? It's the third largest meme coin by market cap. Everyone knows about it. It's on all the exchanges you want it on. Coinbase, Binance, it's everywhere. So the reality is that's why I think Pepe is going to do some big numbers. It's doing big volume. And it is just, it's almost institutionalized. And we don't know what Pepe, don't forget, Pepe's never done a bull market before. Came out in the proper depths of a bear market. So equally, by the way, I'm pretty bullish on Bonk as well. I think Bonk could do very, very well. So, but I have accumulated more Pepe just to try and make sure that I'm sort of locked in. And yeah, look, I mean, if we're at a $10 trillion market cap, you better believe Pepe is going to go way higher, but we'll see. Brett P358, I think Brett's good as well, by the way. The debate though now is, do you think Brett's going to get listed on Coinbase? I'm probably getting more and more to a world of going, maybe not. DG says, yeah, Bitcoin. Look, I don't think there's anything wrong with holding Bitcoin. If you are long-term bullish on this market, grab yourself some Bitcoin all day long. You're never going to go wrong unless, you know, the whole market collapses. But, you know, if you're into Bitcoin, then crack on. Look, I've got a little bit of Bitcoin, not loads. I'm way more exposed to altcoins than I ever have been in Bitcoin. What's a real price prediction for XRP? So, look, I always stand by this. I think $8 would be my bearish case. I think 10 is probably where I'm at. And I would argue that 12.50 and plus, maybe, you know, if you went super crazy, global adoption, everyone's buying XRP, Bank of America come out and say, yeah, we're going to start custodying XRP. You've also got even bigger corporations and pension funds and every crazy son of a bitch buying XRP, and then they burn 35% of their entire escrow. Then I'd go probably $20. But there's a lot of ifs, buts, maybes to get there. Polkadot, I've never really been that big on it, and I've never really been super crazy on Polkadot, but look, it'll have an opportunity, I'm sure. Thank you very much for being real. Hey, no worries. You're never going to get a $1,000 XRP quote on this channel, let me tell you. You might get it in like a meme style laugh at people video, but yeah. Pepe is the meme this run. Yeah, I think so, DG. I think so. I think Bonk will do some good numbers. I think Brett will be in there. I think Shiba Inu will have another run. I think Dogecoin will just do what Dogecoin does, but yeah. Mate, Tim, there was an enormous dead long legs in here yesterday and just scooped it up and put it outside. Do you know why? Because I know that they're not dangerous. Exactly as the one that got me in the live stream. But yeah, I'm not scared of daddy long legs, by the way. Massive set of weapons. They won't burn the escrow. Yeah, I don't think they would, but they could send it to banks, financial corporations. They could do that with it. We'll see. I mean, it wouldn't harm to burn it, but Bitcoin hyper. Yeah, we touched on this yesterday. I don't know enough about it, but I mean, look, I hear it, see it everywhere. I think it's some sort of layer 2, Bitcoin layer 2 or something. I don't know. DYOR. That's all I would say on that one. A lot of DYOR. P358 Chainlink. Yeah, Chainlink's going to be good. Again, it's interesting, isn't it? I was talking about this before, saying that I thought Chainlink was going to be that coin that everyone sort of missed, that it was going to be, playing second fiddle to something like Ethereum. It was going to sort of be behind. I keep catching my foot on something. It's really hurting. It was going to be behind a few other bits, but now, I mean, look, everyone's going to know what Chainlink is. That's the honest answer right now. Thing is, HBAR, I'm getting more and more optimistic on what HBAR is going to do as well. I think HBAR could do some big, big numbers as well. What do you think of VeChain? I'm just not a big fan of it. I've never really been bothered about it. I know loads of people get involved. But yeah, I've never really kind of, Sui, Aptos. Look, they've got a big partnership with UFC, which means they, sort of have a big partnership with Crypto.com as well. And I'm sure that'll all play out pretty favorably. I think Dana White is an investor in VeChain. I think I've heard that somewhere, but yeah, I'm not super crazy. SPX 6900 is going to run. Yeah, well, look, they, again, listed on Coinbase. Don't fumble the bag. Once you get on Coinbase, don't fumble the bag, and you're probably going to be all right. Fairground, I'm behaving. I'm making my granddad a coffee. That's behaving. Get it, Lauren. Troll. Oh, look, apparently there's another 2-bit crypto join. Don't. Oh, by the way, if you are brand new to the channel, by the way, or you're brand new to my Discord, I never, ever send any DMs out. Never. The only time I will ever DM you is if we've already exchanged conversations. So I'll never, ever. So please, everybody, please, please, please. There are so many scammers out there right now. So many people that are trying to use the name. So many people that are, they think they're me, but they're not. Trying to scam you out your cryptocurrency. Please, please be mindful, all right? I never, ever, ever, ever will DM you unless we've literally spoken on the phone, we've literally connected, all of that good stuff. And if you are unsure, message me as the verified account on X or message me as the owner of the Discord channel, all right? Just don't message me anywhere else. Easier. Or Telegram, because I've got a premium subscription on Telegram as well. Just want to get out there. Tyler Wilson, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Man, you guys are crushing the likes tonight. You absolute heroes. I love it. Okay, I'll have a coffee, please. Get it, Fairground. Get it. Will the real 2-bit please stand up? You know what it's about, cheese. They say you've officially made it when everyone tries to copy your account. Will the real 2-bit please stand up? Papa, please stand up. Papa, please stand up. Go. Anyway, with all of that bullish news going on, it's hard to keep up with what's going on in the markets, isn't it? Man, we got like 15 minutes left. Where did this live stream go? Like, what the hell? Sometimes I just wonder where these live streams go. We got like 50 odd people here on TikTok. We got like nearly 85 people on YouTube. We're growing, baby. People know what's coming. People know what's coming. That's good because I tossed one claiming to be you the other day on Discord. Yeah, I would love to know what their like plan is. But I've had like exchanges reach out to me like, hey, when are you doing this video? And I'm like, what are you talking about? They're like, we paid you for a video. And I'm like, nope, you definitely did not. Definitely did not. Anyway, look at this. Invite 2bitcrypto.uk to join the live guest. Blazer, can you get rid of them? They can't come in with my name. That's wild. 2bitcrypto.k to get out of here. Get rid of him, Blazer. Get him, boy. Good news. Right, anyway. Carrying on. WorldCoin. Didn't WorldCoin start to do something crazy? Am I making that up? They're pinching your custom 2-bit. I know. What's that about, bro? What is it about? WorldCoin. I feel like WorldCoin was doing something. It's at 94 cents right now. $1.86 billion market cap. That's freaking crazy. Albeit it's just way down. This is the hype to get into. They definitely changed something. I can't remember what it was now, but they definitely changed something about it. But yeah, not for me. Like, absolutely not for me. The fact that they were like scanning your eyeball for like 50, was it like $50 or 50 coins? I can't remember. I can't remember what it was, but yeah, it was wild. So 2-bit crypto isn't legit. It's exactly the same as Slavic crypto. Don't follow Slavic crypto. That was just some scammer trying to use my name to get, what they can. But anyway, worthwhile sticking around in my opinion. Alex, thanks so much for the follow-up. Man, you were here last night as well with one of the craziest lives me and Vern have ever done. Like, just like chilling. You just get like one of the lead marketers for Polygon just coming and hanging out with you. It's epic. So we're definitely going to change our Wednesday night show to way more like, guests speaking. I think it was Ace. It was a great conversation last night. Really loved it. It was good news. So anyway, welcome, Alex. Good to see you, buddy. This person was trying to sell me trading mirror thing. Yeah, look, the whole trading thing I find like ridiculous, by the way. This is why I think technical analysis I really struggle with sometimes, because so many of them just create like a trading bot that, like, let's be fair. And I always go to this narrative. if someone's going to be like, hey, I've created this trading bot, it's like 90% successful, it's going to be, why would you even give that 21 ad? I'd be like, right, sell my house, sell my car, I'm going to put it all in this trading bot, done, right, there we are, 6 months later, see you later. Like, it's just wild. It's just wild in my opinion. Oh, no, yeah, it was on TikTok. Crackerjack, you don't have to have an account to do it. If you do it on a web page, then you don't need an account and you can literally watch the live stream. Just do it on a browser. Aerodrome P358. Aerodrome, are you, P358, are you me? You sound like you've just got exactly the same portfolio that I do. Yeah, Aerodrome, the only thing I would say right now is staking rewards are down a little bit. They're 18%, which is a little bit disappointing, but they were at 34% like a week ago, which is pretty crazy if you ask me. But yeah, Aerodrome Finance, I've been staking mine now for probably like 14 months. And yeah, it's been absolutely super crazy bullish. So big fan of that. What's your average on Pepe 2-bit? Man, I could actually tell you. But it's pretty low. It's not like crazy low. I'm not like going to be like, oh yeah, well, you know, like not like a crazy like lunatic that's super low. But yeah, it's pretty low. We actually got into it in the investment group, even lower, by the way. I mean, the investment group had an extra 0, I think, on it. But I think I'm at like 4 zeros. What's it at now? It's like 4 zeros. Well, oh my God, why can't I find it? Where's memes? Here, look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, yeah, so it's like 5 zeros, 8 or something like that. Just in 21 shares as filed with the SEC. Holy shit, this might be another ETF. We didn't even call this one. Look at this. This might be some breaking news. Tomato Pete, you love my breaking news as well. Trying to open a TikTok link on my phone browser literally forces you to open and install the app. Okay. Now, I am going to try and get the CEO of Polygon on this show. So he had a full setup as well. So yeah, we definitely could be in a world of trying to get the CEO of Matic on here and the head marketer as well, which would be crazy. Yeah, look at this. Breaking news, everybody, right now. Breaking news. We have 21 shares filing with the SEC to launch a SAY ETF. Okay, do we have SAY? Are we tracking SAY or not? We are not. We probably need to take, although I don't think it'll do anything crazy off the back of that, but Jesus, it's all getting a bit wild out here, isn't it? It's all getting a little bit too difficult to keep up with sometimes. 37 says, good live stream on TikTok last night. Surprise guest. Yeah, it was great. Really good. You into any gaming cryptos? Top 3? So, I've heard a rumor, and I haven't even looked at this, by the way. I've heard 𝗥𝗲𝗿𝗍𝗻 is like on the move again. Is that true? Tim, you're way more dialed in this than I am. Is like 𝗥𝗲𝗍𝗻's been going crazy? Is it actually 𝗥𝗲𝗍𝗻s? I think it is, isn't it? Is this, oh no. Where is it? I can't remember where it is now. Is it on ETH? Has it changed now? What is it, Tim? Tim normally knows. But yeah, I've heard 𝗥𝗲𝗍𝗻's going pretty crazy. I haven't really got too much into the whole gaming narrative. I mean, look, AVAX is going to be a good gaming chain. But yeah, I've heard 𝗥𝗲𝗍𝗻's is on the move again, but yeah. I'm not on 𝗥𝗲𝗍𝗻, bro. So a long time ago. Yeah, I don't have any of the coins. I have the NFT still. Cheese, have you got one? Someone's got one. I can't remember what it is. You still think AVAX could? Yeah, I still think AVAX is going to be good. I think Sui will get an ETF before SAY. Yeah, I mean, Sui's already been filed. That's just a filing for one. Calamari says, very nice. What's your bull price on Pepe? I'm not into at the moment, just debating if it's worth it. I mean, I think it could break another. We talked about it last night on the live stream, on the TikTok live. What if Pepe had the same market cap as Dogecoin, which is like 33 billion? Then it would be like, it'd be like a 200% move. Well, let me ask you this question, right? Let me ask you this question. Where do we think market cap of Pepe could get to? That's the question, isn't it? So currently the market cap of Pepe is about what, 3.5 billion, something like that, I think. So where could it get to? That's going to be the question on everyone's mind. You know, could we see Pepe? Let's say, could we see Pepe at a $10 billion market cap as an example? Could we see it there? Well, let's say the same as like Avalanche. All right. So what happens if Pepe got to a $10 billion market cap? What would that look like? Well, you'd get an average price of 10 cents at a $10 billion market cap. So, you know, that'd be pretty crazy, wouldn't it? Then you take your calculator. And again, this is not financial advice. And it's not a good investment strategy, but sometimes you can allow yourself just a little bit of a hope and dream. So you take about your total bag that you've got, which in my case is 1,000 Pepe, and you times that by 0.10, and And then that's going to give you a pretty much interesting price. Now, I don't think it gets to that, if I'm honest. I mean, that would be a pretty fucking crazy price target. If it was to get that, you're probably more down here somewhere. You're probably going to be in the range. And see, Pepe is here at 4.2. Could we see Pepe at let's say Shiba Inu then? What does that look like, right? Could it flip SHIB? If you think it could, then, you know, then you're sort of in a world of going, well, maybe. What does that look like? Well, that would be a 7 cents price range. It'd still be pretty crazy. WLFI Games at 5085. Nice. Epic to 360 this run. Keep hearing a bit more about Epic Chain. I don't know too much about it, really. I did a short for them, but, I mean, it looks pretty crazy. I know lots of people are on it. Marius loves Pepe. Yeah, I think Pepe is going to be good. I have DCA'd my way into Pepe as well. So I bought Pepe when it came out. Not like super early. I wasn't like really, really early into it, but too bad I DM'd you the contract address on X. Okay, fine. Right, thanks, Tim. I wasn't super early into Pepe, but, you know, before the big move and then sold, then missed the big move, like the big move, and then waited for it, and I've just been DCAing down into it ever since. So yeah, I've got a decent buy-in price on Pepe. We'll see where we get to with it. Is my view. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, WLFI Games. Yeah, so I said $11 million market cap. Holy crap! Yeah, I sold this way higher than that. Way higher than that. It was like this second pump. I think I got rid of it. All right, okay. For some reason, I thought it was like starting to get a bit crazy. It's still got 5% tax on it. Oh no, it's come down a little bit. Yeah, someone just full clipped like 11. I mean, look at the liquidity though. $1 million in liquidity. Like, holy shit. Yeah, okay, that's fine. SHIB is 7.4 billion. Yeah. I get Pepe from my miner rewards from my Doge miners. Nice, Alvin. Let's get it, baby. I like it. What do you think XRP will go to? Yeah, look, I said it before. Bear case, 8. Normal or nominal case, 10. Bull market, 12.50 or beyond, hopefully. I don't see Pepe doing something. I don't see Pepe to do something crazy. Is XRP dumping? Down 0.5%. I don't know if you decline that. I don't know if you say that's dumping. What's interesting on XRP though is it's definitely starting to look at this. If you sort of look at this in terms of where it's going to go, I think XRP is very much starting to look like it could be breaking out pretty soon. In my opinion. Look at this. Look at what XRP is doing. Starting to coil up. By the way, here you go. There you go. Yeah, look at this. Very, very, very interesting. Starting to move here on XRP. Are we about to see a blast off? I personally think we've got another down leg, maybe 280, and then I think we'll see that break out. But yeah, starting to look pretty interesting. Arguably, though, you know, some bullish news. Interesting chart on XRP right now, though. Definitely an interesting chart on XRP. And I think we could definitely see this break out. It's coiling up for a break. It'll either go, I know people go, oh, what do you mean? Like, how bad's your TA if you say it might go up or might go? This is a point of decision, basically, with XRP, is it could break out of this range or it could hold this range and start to look for a potential break. We've seen this before. You actually saw a bigger range, which was here, by the way, as well. So we talked about this one when it was happening. So this kind of bigger range here, as this sort of came in with that breakout. And look, that's exactly what happened. And look at this pattern. So it's interesting. Interesting for me. Pay market out too large now unless someone has 10k to throw at it. Yeah, I mean, look, again, depends though, doesn't it? Where do you think Pepe's going to go? Do you think it could do 8 billion? Maybe. I think Singogs for the red month, September back half will be up a month. I mean, that's true. Thanks, Cheese. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, look, I think I have about $50 worth of Pepe. Well, there you go. At least you got, hey, $50 is better than none. Just saying. Just saying. Shine, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to you. Welcome. Thanks for everybody tuning in, by the way. 31,000 likes on the live stream. You guys are crazy. See, Bonk is doing the opposite to XRP. Bonk seems to be on a downward trend, looking like it might hit 1790. Did you really full clip your entire XRP bag for Bonk, by the way, Craig? Did you actually do that? Or not? I wasn't sure. Well, let's take a look. Where is XRP? Where's Bonk going to go? Hold on a minute. That's absolutely not what I meant to do. $786, yeah, 1797, probably where you're going to get a potential price target on Bonk. The only thing that would probably be worthwhile noting, though, is you've got a couple of key levels of support. So you'd argue there is probably a strong one at the 1.845, and then you'd argue you go a little bit lower. You're probably there as well. So a couple of key levels for Bonk. Watch out. Watch out. That wouldn't even be 1x, so you may get 100 back from your 50. Well, that's true, isn't it? 𝗥𝗲𝗋𝗃 inputs, future projections. Man, 𝗥𝗃𝗃, as always, has been doing the complete opposite to what the rest of the market does. For example, down 5% today. Why is 𝗥𝗃𝗃 down? No, I did completely sell my position on the last pump. I did actually take, I got out of 𝗥𝗃𝗃 in fairness, and I think I bought a bonk with it, actually. Can't remember. Anyway, yeah, 𝗥𝗃𝗃 is now broke below this range, so you're probably going to see 𝗥𝗃𝗃 retest, I think, the 3977 range, which would be the 100-day exponential moving average, if the market, you know, continues to push down. I actually think it will. I think 𝗥𝗃𝗃 is one of those coins that for some reason is just doing the complete opposite to the rest of the market. So you could definitely see 𝗥𝗃𝗃 come down to this like 3960. Definitely see that, I think. Before potentially moving, don't forget, I think the narrative's pretty good. The only thing I don't like about 𝗥𝗃𝗃, in my opinion, from a technical standpoint, is this is very much in a downtrend. Very much in a downtrend. And that's not to say, though, that it can't break out. Not to say at all that it couldn't break out. For example, you start to play out this very interesting pattern here on 𝗥𝗃𝗃. You could argue, again, sort of forming a very traditional, you know, move. I'm not saying it's going to break out, but it will come to a point where a decision will have to be made. Is that going to be a decision, or is that going to be a decision? This could be, you know, middle of September, which again could play out. So the only thing with 𝗥𝗃𝗃 is, like I said, it seems to do the opposite to the rest of the market, which is always a bit weird, isn't it? Which means people are prepared to sell 𝗥𝗃𝗃 to move back into, I guess, what's pumping, which probably tells you that it does have a core foundation of really strong holders, but at the same time, short-term holders will happily dump their 𝗥𝗃𝗃 for something else. So might just be worth thinking about. What do you think of Lil Pepe? I have no idea, but let's take a look at it. Lil Pepe. That hasn't come up on this. Lil Pepe. Oh, here we go. 1.4 million. Oh, liquidity 1.8k. Hopefully that isn't the one you're talking about, because that looks terrible. I know it drives me crazy. Can't figure it out with 𝗥𝗃𝗃. Yeah, I know it's wild, isn't it? It is wild. That's why I'm not gonna lie. That's why I just got out of it. Now I can't find the contract address for it. Thinking of selling the rest of it. Render. Yeah, we touched on Render before. Not the world's biggest fan of Render, unfortunately. Not the world's biggest fan of it. So yeah. Vortex, however, though, still looking alright, actually. Still looking alright. Thoughts on Ondo? Akash, bullish, mate. Have you seen the news coming out about Ondo? Holy crap! Like what? That's something we need. I actually have a video coming out about it. Is it tomorrow? Maybe the day after. But yeah, Ondo is like wild, bro. Don't forget, the US is going to print more treasuries than you are ever going to imagine, and I think personally they're going to put it all for Ondo Finance. Look at this. That guy's in the building. What's going on, buddy? It says, ever heard of Tonk? It's available on Robinhood now. Tonk. I think I have, actually. T-O-N-K. Tonk Inu, which is Toncoin meets Bonk. No, is the honest answer. I've got about 4,000 coins. What's your price prediction for this cycle? On Ondo, man. I mean, I think Ondo does depend on a couple of things. It definitely does depend on a couple of things. So look at this. We did break out from that long-standing move on Ondo. I think I put an initial price prediction of 316 on Ondo, which would be the move from the previous push-up to potentially where that's going to sit. Bear in mind, though, the fact that the US is adopting crypto like rates we've never seen before, you could argue Ondo could go way crazier than that. Way crazier than that. So I'll have to see. We'll have to see. Yeah. Hopefully. Tonk is a bonk. Nice. No, it's pre-sale. It's made 26 mil so far in pre-sale. All right. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't seen it, to be honest. Yeah, the return has seemed better to the bone with my sand. It was 15,000 sand or 150 million bonk. What could put me in the extra? Yeah, well, that's true. Ondo's been chosen by BlackRock. Yeah, that's true. Ondo's a good relationship with 𝗥𝗃𝗃. And don't forget, like I said, the minute those treasuries start to come on chain, which could be even sooner than you think, given what we've heard today. I mean, Jesus, that could be wild, couldn't it? That could be wild, in my opinion. Anyway, okay, so yeah, that was one that was supposedly was airdropping XRP to people, wasn't it? Scan the code. It's too good to be true. It's not. Yeah, I mean, that's true as well. Any thoughts on Polkadot the cycle? We talked about this earlier on. Not really, if I'm honest. Not really. For for no other reason than I just don't really see it as a bit. I think the old school, other than, you know, top tier ones, I just kind of feel like they're just a bit last season. I know that sounds crazy, but you'll have a bit like Litecoin, you know, yes, it will pump. Yes, people are going to get into it. Is it going to go crazy and do like some absolutely insane numbers? Maybe not. Maybe not. And I think that's probably where I get to a little bit more. So, but still, do you know what? You can't argue, in my opinion. I think it's very much, you know, it's got some good things. Like I said, talking to the team from Polkadot last night, from Matic, like you just don't realize, like, you know, how crazy some of those stuff can be. So yeah. Price predictions say, did you see they just had a 21 shares ETF application going? That could be crazy. Did you hear about the approval of Grayscale's ETF by SEC? Is it true? I don't think they've approved it, have they? Have they? I don't think it's been approved. I might be wrong though, but I don't think so. Grayscale seeks SEC nod for a spot AVAX ETF. Grayscale buys AVAX. Yeah, I think it was more of a Grayscale seeks SEC approval to convert its Avalanche Trust. I mean, again, that's pretty bullish news, isn't it? Yeah, I don't think there's been anything converted today for Grayscale. I believe they are trying to get lots pushed through, but at the minute, I don't believe that's happened. I don't believe that's happened, but that's just my opinion anyway. PX Network, thanks. Send the Austin S. Love it. Thanks so much. What do you think of NMR? Is that Monero, yeah? I mean, it's freaking crazy. I was talking about Monero back in 2017. Privacy coins are going to be big, you know. Privacy coins are going to, as people, you know, demand privacy, as institutional regulation come in, you know, could Monero rally again? Maybe. Maybe. Could it get to $500 potentially? Potentially. Thanks, PX. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate it. Akash, thanks for the follow as well. Hey, thanks for the follows, everybody. Really, really appreciate it. It's very, very good news. We had nearly like 25 new followers tonight. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody, and 31,000 likes. Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much. Thoughts on Joe and AVAX? As in the platform, Erasmo. The actual platform, as in Trader Joe. I hate it. Did you get LTO ready for base equity migration? No, I did not. I did not, unfortunately. What's your ETH all-time high for this cycle? I want to say 12K, but I'm probably going to stay conservative and say, I think it's 5 figures. I think it hits 5 figures. Destra. Have I heard about Destra? Have we talked about Destra before? Hey, Shine X Detailing, thanks so much. I appreciate it. Just thanks for tuning in. It's, yeah, very much appreciated. And don't forget, we're here every single day, 4 p.m. Eastern. That is 9:30 in the UK, Destra Network. And if you want to support the channel, by the way, get on some alpha plays. It's $3 a month to subscribe to this amazing TikTok channel. We're trying to build it out. I'm trying to make sure you guys get value. But $3, I mean, Jesus Christ, it's nothing, is it? Hopefully that's worth it. I know there's a couple of you chads out there that are subscribed. I appreciate you guys. It does help out, does support the channel. I absolutely appreciate it. Never expected, by the way. Don't feel like you have to. We're just bringing you alpha every single day here on the channel. Right, Destra Network. Oh my God, it's up what? 1881. I mean, it's looking kind of all right, really. I mean, it's a bit down from all-time high of around 78%, so it needs to get a wriggle on. Volume at 11 milli. 7-day down, month down, daily. Yeah, I won't bother. I mean, I don't know what it's doing, by the way. That's a super, like, assuming decision-making, but empowering the next gen AI with decentralized computing. Okay, there's loads of them coming out like now. Maybe. You got to find what's right for you. I don't know. Given that chart movement, that would be right for me, but yeah. All right. Numera, NMR on CoinMarket. Let's have a look. Is it MMR? MMR that's, I can't remember. NMR. Oh yeah, I got you there, look. Got it. $18. Holy shit. The volume looks pretty crazy though. Volume is crazy, man. It looks like it had a nice move. 110% up on the month, 116% up on this weekly. What the hell's happened with this? Why has this gone crazy? Launched back in 2018. I mean, it still looks pretty flat compared to where it's been though. All-time high was 168. Man, it's 90. Yeah, I wouldn't touch this at all. Yeah, it's had a pump. All right, fine. Where's it going to go? Not sure. Like I said, if you've got insider, you're part of the team, you're in there, all the rest of it, then you know what? Great. Great. If you're not, then, you know, it is what it is. 37. Yeah, look at, see, this is the thing. When you're like proper legend of the channel, look at your badge 37. You get like a cooler badge than 𝗦𝗲𝗿𝗁. You see, it's all about, if you like badges, by the way, that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. And almost 40,000 subscribers. Who? Me. Yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there, baby. It's still wild though. Like, if you think about it, if everyone that was subscribed to the channel watched every video that I put out, even just for a couple of minutes, it would be insane. Like, the channel would be like super crazy skyrockety channel, but hopefully at some point we get it. But look, we'll just keep putting the, you know, content out. We're going to keep trying to bring alpha to everybody. You know, we'll keep trying to push it. That's all we can do, innit? That's all we can do it. When you reckon ETH will peak this cycle? Anando, I mean, don't forget, altcoins generally are about a month after Bitcoin. So if you said Bitcoin tops at the end of October, start of November, you could argue we could see, do we see the early January 2026? Do we let ourselves say that maybe altcoins go to 2026? Maybe. I don't know. Man, I'm like loving the live stream right now. It's 10 past 10. Like, holy shit, I need to get out of here. Need to get out of here. Keep you guys wanting more. That's the art of the game, isn't it? So yeah, as always, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Why is most coins going down? I mean, it's not really. Bitcoin's down, up a little bit. I'd say it's just a traditional, boring day in the market. It's nothing too crazy going on. Lots of rotations of capitals going on. Not really new money coming in, but yeah. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, as always, 4 p.m. Eastern. Bring you the latest and greatest. That's 9 p.m. here in the UK as well. So if you are interested in joining our totally free Discord, heading over to my YouTube channel, dead easy to find me. Heading over there and let's type 2-bit crypto. It's going to bring me up, and you'll find my free Discord in the description. Likewise, if you want to get involved on TikTok and support the channel, you can subscribe for $3 a month. It absolutely is not expected, but it is, you know, it's the available if you want to do it as well. But until tomorrow, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Hopefully, we'll see a very bullish market, and we will be ready for those moves. So as always, thanks as always, thanks so much. As always, catch you soon. Bye-bye.